Welcome to Sleep Tight Frights, the place where bedtime stories don't always end sweetly. I'm Evergrey, your storyteller in the shadows. Each tale is a little strange, a little spooky, and just creepy enough to keep you peeking over the covers. So settle in, close your eyes, but don't fall asleep just yet. They say some creatures are born under the wrong sky, with the wrong shadow, carrying something they never asked for. This is the story of a colt, born with wings and a purpose no one could name. This is the black-winged colt. In the quiet valley of Ashmere, where fog clings to fence posts and the trees speak only in whispers, something unusual was born one spring morning. The rain had passed in the night, rain still dripping from the barn roof, and in the straw, beneath a weary mare, lay a newborn colt. Strong, breathing, alive, but wrong. His coat was dark, nearly blue in some lights. His eyes opened immediately, deep and glossy like onyx stones. But it wasn't his eyes that made the stable hands take a step back. It was the wings, folded tight against his body, covered in sleek, short feathers, black as soot, silent as shadows. One of the farm hands made a sign of a cross. Another refused to go near. Still, the farmer, Mr. Yarrow, was a practical man. "It's just a birth defect," he muttered, though his voice wavered. "Nothing but bones and feathers." He named the colt Shade, not because of the color, he claimed, but because the colt was born just as the sky turned from night to gray. The name stuck, so did the unease. Shade didn't act like the other colts. He didn't gallop, he didn't chase butterflies, he didn't whinny for his mother when she wandered too far. He simply watched, stood still for hours at a time, blinking slowly as though listening to something far away. His wings remained folded, unmoving, almost like they were waiting. The first strange thing happened in July. It was just past midnight, and 10-year-old Elsie Garth woke from a dream she couldn't remember. She sat up, heart pounding, certain something had called her name, but the house was silent. She crossed the room to her window and froze. A shape was circling above the barn. Not a bird, not a bat, bigger, broader. It glided through the sky with wide, deep wings stretched flat, so wide they blocked the stars. It turned once, twice, and then vanished. The next night, her little brother claimed he heard hoofs on the roof. The night after that, someone found a single black feather on their porch, too large to belong to any crow. By the end of the week, all the children on the farms nearby were whispering, Shade was flying. But only at night. By day, he stood in the paddock like any other young horse, nibbling hay, flicking his tail. His wings, now longer and sharper, stayed tucked in close. When people passed, he turned his head to follow them, and sometimes they swore he smiled. Mr. Yarrow locked the barn doors tight every evening. He told the workers not to talk about the rumors. But one morning, a trail of deep hoof prints was found leading across the roof of the farmhouse. No shingles were broken. The footprints had sunk into the wood itself. Shade grew. His body stretched lean and tall, his feather darkened to a purplish sheen. His wings could now span the width of the pasture gate, though he never opened them during the day, only at night, always in circles, never over the woods, never towards the mountains, only around the valley, and the circles grew tighter. Then things got worse. The McKinley's rooster stopped crowing. The Smith's pond froze solid in the middle of August, and a boy named Devin, Elsie's friend, disappeared after following a trail of feathers into the barn loft. They never found him, only his boots and a long scratch across the barn beam, like a talon had dragged itself along the wood. No one dared approach Shade now, not even Mr. Yarrow. They left his food outside the barn. He rarely touched it. Elsie couldn't sleep, not because of the nightmares, but because Shade had stopped circling the valley. He was circling her house. She noticed the shift one night at 1 a.m., and then again at 2:12. By the third night, it was obvious. The loops grow narrower. The wind from his wings began to shake the shutters, and his shadow, the long, impossible shadow, stretched across her ceiling, longer than it should have been, bending where it shouldn't, twisting just slightly behind the real movement. She tried to tell her mother, "It's just dreams, Elsie." But her dreams were too quiet now. Not nightmares, not anything, just silent. And the feeling that she was being watched from above. One night, it stopped. The circles, the sound, everything. She crept to her window again, and there he was, hovering. His wings motionless, suspended as if by strings, his body tilted towards her, and his eyes, two pale mirrors reflecting nothing, locked with her. And then he dove. Glass shattered, wind screamed. By the time her parents reached the room, it was empty. No Elsie, no horse, just feathers, and a single trail of hoofprints on the ceiling, pressed into the plaster so deep they cracked the paint. Her bed was still warm, and her shadow was gone. Not just missing, gone, like it had been peeled off the wall and carried into the night. They painted over the ceiling twice. The hoofprints always returned. And sometimes, if you pass the Garth house on a cloudless night, you can see a black shape above it, circling, waiting. Some say it was just a horse. Others say it still circles, waiting for the next shadow to peel away. If you hear wings in the dark, don't look up. Now, if you were just listening to that story, would you have gone near shade or stayed far away? Why? What do you think happened to Elsie? If you had wings like shade, where would you fly? And what would you stay away from? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for listening to Sleep Tight Frights. It means more than you know, to us and to the things that listen back. I'm Ever Gray, your guide through the shadows, and if you felt something was watching as the story unfolded, you're not alone. They remember the ones who listen, they wait for the ones who return. So come back soon. Sleep tight if you can.